Today we're going to turn this KTM 690 into a little bit more of an adventure rig.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, today we're going to go over some things I've already done on this KTM 690, and then I'm going to show you a few other things that I'm going to do to my KTM 690. I'll make sure I try to post a link here wherever they put them as to why I ended up with this bike, but for the quick down and dirty, I had a Super Tenere 1200 and I enjoyed that bike, but I wanted to get a little bit more dirt travel and still be able to do some highway travel. So I decided on the KTM 690. There's a bunch of different things out there and everyone has their own idea how to do it, but this is the way I wanted to do it. So let me show you what I have already done to make this thing a little bit more adventure bike worthy. All right, starting over here on the right handlebar, I have a throttle lock. Now, some people may not like these things, but hey, you know what? To get to the dirt, you got to hit some highway, and I am older every day, surprisingly, so holding my wrist for a long time, I start to get that carpal tunnel type thing going on, and being able to lock the throttle, take a little bit of, take a little bit off your hand for a moment. Works great on the flats, you start hitting hills, not so good, but this was a cheap and easy upgrade. Second thing I did was I installed these heated grips. Now, these were just something that I wanted to try. They were pretty cheap. I think I got them on Amazon, maybe $20–25, and a little different system than I've ever used before. These are just like a cover that Velcros over the outside of the grips. And they're easy to install. They're easy to remove. Like if I get in the dirt and I'm worried about these, I can just unplug them right here on each side, unhook the Velcro, put them in my bag. The switches over here, they heat up very quick. I'm pretty happy with them. And now, the next thing that we're going to cover, hang on a second. All right, I picked these up over the holidays as a gift to myself. Outback MotorTech, and these are crash bars or engine bars or whatever you want to call them. And they are going to go right here. As you can see, it would have been nice to have them. Maybe it would have prevented a little bit of scratchy scratch, but it's a dirt bike, it's a motorcycle, it's going to get scratched. I'm not going to do a full install video on them, but I'll show you a quick, a couple of little steps, but there's a great video on their site already. These bars are very, very easy to install. I've probably been working on it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I've already got the other side loosely installed, this side going on. Like I said, good videos, but I'll show you real quick. You just take out this lower mount for this tank shroud. It's not really a tank. And then you remove 1 and 2 these bolts, which are T45 Torx, and then you install your bars. They're very easy because you can tell the words, you gotta read them. And there's, I think that's a 8mm. There's a long one and a short one. When you put them through, you can see which lengths are supposed to go there. Put that on there, tighten those down, and there's a crossbar that goes across here. Very easy, probably 15 minutes at the tops. And I put some Loctite on these bolts as well. Very simple install on these things. I give them a 10 out of 10. I like that it's got this cross brace that connects the two. Kind of provides a little bit of support maybe for the radiator and everything like that. So, and another reason I put those on there is just because, like I said, I plan on riding this thing 2 trails and stuff like that. So, if I have to jump on the highway for a couple 100 miles, you can move my feet from here up to here. And even if you just can put your toes up there, a little different position for your feet makes a huge difference after you've been on the road for a while. So now let's move on to the next item here that I purchased. I think it's the last one I've got for now. to get this thing set up the way that I want it. Everyone has their own way, like I said. Now I went back and forth on this item here for a long time before I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Life is short. Let's spend a little bit of money and enjoy it while we're here. So, and this is kind of against my way because I'm kind of a cheap ass sometimes, but I picked up a Rade Garage rally fairing. These things were on sale for the, I guess, whatever this generation of the KTM is. And I just said, what the heck, let's go for it. Now, I tend to be a practical man, so I tried to convince myself that the main reason I bought it was for this right here, because it has these LED lights in here. These are supposedly DOT legal LED lights. So I was going to upgrade the headlights anyway, so figured might as well go for it. Mostly it's a vanity thing because I love the way that a rally fairing looks on a motorcycle like this. You know, if you watch the Dakar Rally, those bikes just look awesome. So I said, let's go for it. Now, like I said, for the crash bars, there's some good videos already of installing this, so I'm not going to make a giant video installing this whole system, but I will show you maybe a couple steps along the way. See, we've got a place to mount some navigation if we so desire. This is a pretty neat setup. Anyway, I'm going to get started on getting this installed. I'll show you maybe a couple steps along the way, like I said, and we'll see what it looks like when we're done. All right, I don't know how far I am into this thing, an hour and a half. It's kind of a pain, I will admit. It's a lot of work getting this thing on here. So it's got some brackets that kind of clamp around here. This one is held on with one small bolt, but basically what holds that on there is the clamping force right up here. And you have to unplug all the wiring, feed it all in there, hook it all up, but so far so good. I've already tested and the bike starts and runs, so we haven't gone backwards. I'm just trying to get everything as neat as possible as far as like the wiring, routing and all that, and make sure nothing's going to pinch when it turns. But I think I'm about ready to install these headlights. And there's those LEDs I was telling you about. And those ought to be really nice. And hopefully I can get that mounted up here. Yeah, all right, that should be pretty easy. So I'll get that going, and I think pretty soon we'll be putting on the pretty bits, and we'll see how that looks. I hope it looks good. It definitely was not cheap. There we are with the LEDs installed, and I have the fairing itself kind of together right there. And see how I can do this here with one hand. Kind of get it on here just so you can see it before I actually mount it all up. Just kind of sitting there right now. Yeah, that definitely changes the look of the bike, doesn't it? So I still got some more messing around to do. I have to figure out the turn signals and make sure I have everything the way it's supposed to be before I put this on. I think there's some bolts I was supposed to lock tight, but you get the idea at this point. Well, here she is. I think I have everything hooked up. Stacked LEDs. It also came with these turn signals. You probably could use the stock ones if you want, but it came with these, and they already had a connector thing on them to plug them right in, so that made it very easy. Here's the view from behind the seat. I'm probably going to move this up to here. I use a phone for my nav, but it does include a little cradle thing you can attach, well, a mount that you can attach a Garmin cradle to. Let me show you here. I guess this is the standard Garmin size, and then you can mount that right on that crossbar. and lots of leftover fasteners. I think this Rade Garage rally fairing, it's a pretty nice product, but I really wish they would give you some kind of paper instructions at the very least. I went on their site. I couldn't find a installation guide for this model. I found one for the newer model. Now, that's not to say that if I had messaged them that they wouldn't have gotten one to me. There's probably one somewhere. I just couldn't find it. I found the one for the 450 500 and the one for the 2019 up 690s. And they had a video on there which was pretty decent, but it did gloss over some things, as videos do, because you can't make a 5-hour long video. No one's going to want to watch it. All right, so there we have it, the adventure mods to my KTM 690. Like I said, I didn't want to make a full-on installation video. There's plenty of them out there, just showing you how I modified my 690 a little bit to make it work the way that I hope that I will be using it. And we'll share some adventures on this thing again real soon. All right, if you're enjoying my content, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.